This is the Mohsin Mortgage Program with Sarah Mohsin. Mohsin Mortgage is licensed in several states for residential and commercial purchases and refinancing. Call 800-662-9550. And now, here's your host, Sarah Mohsin.
It's Friday, folks. It's great to be back here again. And I have to say, I just am so very happy and excited to have you on air with me, Juliette. Juliette Meade, how are you today?
I'm good, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm really good. I'm just, it's funny how life works. And we were chatting off air a little bit, and our time spent in Boston and in the studios. And I wanted to just share the fact that you have really meant a lot to me. You're just like someone who has this spirit about you, and I've been bugging Christina from our Mohsin team, like, I want to have you on air, and I want you to share a little bit, the whole we're raising money for cancer research. We have a book that's coming out, and so can you share a little bit about your your stories of hope? And I know you're a cancer survivor, Juliette. Can you share?
Yes, I am. I had cancer 2005.
Mm-hmm.
And that was in my right breast. And at that time, actually, I really did not know God as much.
Mm-hmm.
And then it came back in 2010 in my left.
Mm-hmm.
And at that time, I was not scared. First time I was, the second time I wasn't.
Right.
Because at that time, my faith grew stronger. So I knew who my God was and is.
Mm.
And so it was okay. So I went through with flying colors. I did radiation, chemo,
Yeah.
and I was all right. I worked through it the second time, not the first time, because the first time I thought I was going to literally die.
Right.
Yeah, but through it all, I learned to trust God more. I learned to lean on Him also, which is amazing that the work that I'm in, I get to see people that are going through it, and I'm able to let them know that you're going to be all right. If I go through it twice, and they look at me and say, really, twice? And I'm like, yeah, and I'm a testimony. I'm here doing your daughter's dress or something like that, and it's amazing. It's
Right.
amazing. Right. Everybody, I'll tell you something, though, Sarah.
Yeah.
In order to get healed,
Mm-hmm.
you have to be, you have to know that you will get healed.
Right.
You got to believe that there is a God,
Mm-hmm.
okay? And doing that, it makes you get stronger. And also, you have to be around the right people.
Yes. Very true. Very true.
That is so important. Because the minute you're around negative people, it's not going to work.
I 100% believe in that. I think that and there's a light about you. I just think you're an amazing human. You're just an amazing person, and we met, and we've met over the years, and I just think that this is a story that's important. Cancer has affected my family, and I know that it's affected so many, and so it's important for people to have hope and faith, and God is good, and there's things that we have to do in order to go through this process, and I've had friends of mine who've said always get a second opinion, and persevere and surround yourself with good people,
Yes.
with kindness, with faith, and so even with Christina from our Mohsin team, she was working with you because you were looking at doing a refinance.
Yeah.
And so it kind of like all worked out in a way that, I believe in being of service. I'm all about being able to give information and make sure that you are comfortable in moving forward. And in your case, it's so interesting that there were two things that, we were able to at least say, well, I can learn from you, and you are so positive always, and have.
Oh, thank you.
You really are. And you have, it is also in the interesting line of work that you're in.
Yes.
Share a little bit.
I do sewing. I'm a seamstress.
Lovely.
But I'm more into bridal.
Right.
Yes, I love to work with these girls because you hear it all.
Right.
You know, do. And but the most part that I love is when a mother, their mother, or even them themselves is going through, and I'm there listening, pinning them and listening to them. I'm like, I looked up and I said, "You're going to be fine. Come on, give me a hug, because look at me. I went through this or I went through that, you know." And they'll step back and they say, "Really?" And I'm like, "Yes." And I start telling them what went on, and telling them well what you need to drink or what you need to do and stuff like that. And after everything is said and done, amazingly, we still keep in contact.
Right. Well, I'm not surprised.
Yes, we still keep in contact, and in this way, it's not even building my clientele, but it's to know that, you know what, this lady's mother been through whatever, and now she's fine because I'm able to tell her, "You're going to be fine," you know. And but I tell you something. One time, this touched my heart. I met this girl that her brother was so sick. He had cancer, and he did not know God. And he thought he was going to literally pass away. And never met him, but I would send messages to the sister to him. And I would say to the sister, when you go, give him a hug and tell him I send that hug to him. And amazingly, she called me back one day and said, "He's doing fine. He's doing fine. Everything is wonderful." Those things make my day.
Well, I just love you. I think you're just this bright spirit, and you know, you've been so always helpful and kind, and this is important for people to have that hope. And certainly we felt privileged that you came to us for your refinance, and I know Christina thinks you're just wonderful, and so do we all here. You know, we really do. And can you share a little bit about what what we did in regards to your refinance, Julia?
Well, the first time I met you guys, when I refinanced, it was amazing, because at that time there's credit cards, there's a couple of stuff that I wanted to close in, because you guys explained to me that paying interest on each one of these stuff adds up. So if I put everything together, it's one finance charge. And I realized that it works. And so I get to pay off all my bills, everything. Then, amazingly, last year, my husband and I decided to look for our next home in our country, or summer home in our country. And he says to me, "You know what? Why don't we refinance again?" And we did. And amazingly, everything just worked out. Our daughter, college, her what do I call it there? For her college, all the bills, everything
Student
for her
loans,
college.
yeah.
Yes, we locked it, everything. Because to me, amazingly, we were paying her college, and still it looked like there's nothing still paying up.
Right.
Yeah. And we did that, and guess what? It's a breeze.
Well,
it's a breeze. We have a home right now that is paid off. And we have a home that her college fees are all paid up. Our credit cards are all paid up. And we just living calm, like there is, and we're paying less than when we had two homes.
Well, there you go. And I think that's important, to be able to enjoy life, to have ease. And I think that, I say, Juliette, always success for me, and I think for most, is to be able to have time spent with their family and not to be working 2-3 jobs or juggling bills, and, sharing time with people, because people matter at the end of the day, not things. So
that's true.
I think that it was, and it is, a joy to have people like you in my life, and I know that for us to be able to do that and be of service, as well as just for you to be able to share your story and hope when we're dealing with difficult situations, health issues, whatnot, to have hope and surround yourself with good people, and always have faith, in God, and
That's true. I was blessed, I am blessed and more blessed to have you guys, because
Likewise.
I did not know how to go about financing and all these stuff. And you guys sit down and you explain everything to me. And I love the idea, too, that I didn't have to run around with no papers here and there and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
Well, we definitely love you very much because really the fact that you were kind enough to share your story, because it is very personal and intimate, and being that to be able to share it and give people hope. And again, I always say, folks, call us here at 1-800-662-9550. And I do want you back again, Juliette, if you don't mind.
Okay, anytime.
Okay? All right, my dear. But other than that, any last words?
I want to say, whoever out there that's suffering, just have hope. Have hope. Believe, trust in God. You might not know God, but you know what? There is a God. And He's the only one that will give you the strength and heal you.
Thank you for that, Juliette. And with that, folks, feel free to call us here at 1-800-662-9550. Stay well, folks.
This has been the Mohsin Mortgage Program with Sarah Mohsin. Mohsin Mortgage is licensed in several states for residential and commercial purchases and refinancing. Call 800-662-9550.